What's up, fam man? What's up, guys? We're just about to get started. Thank you for the YouTube gift, Martin. Certainly do appreciate it. We're just about to get started. But yeah, thanks for asking, Amir. I'm doing great. I'm just stuffing some cereal down my throat right now. So excuse the little delay there. Had to uh get some breakfast in right before we get these shows started. Hopefully everyone has had quite the productive week. The controversy still continues to spread about NVIDIA's pricing. Same thing with AMD. They're also getting just as expensive as well when it comes to pricing. I mean, like even pushing over the $1,000 mark, which is pretty insane. Nah, UK just passed 3 p.m. Awesome. How's everything with your PC so far? I gotta say, it's a magnificent. Love the build that you're doing, Amir. But thanks for the lurk. Also, simplicity. I certainly do appreciate that as well. And I do have to remind everybody out there, if you have a micro center near you, and you truly need to get a GPU or any PC components, especially if you're in Florida, because reason being, tax time is like pretty much almost ended. Like when it comes, or should be coming back after next week on the 20th. So they'll have their whole back to school tax savings is going to end. So if you're in Florida, you want to make sure to take advantage of the deals, including displays. When it comes to pretty much any electronics, really, you could get a decent discount on. Actually, we got a rebuild that we're going to do with PMFX. Thanks to, you guys might also remember him as Ricardo as well. We actually got a new case in, and we also got a cooler that we're going to install for this upcoming rebuild, so to say. So he's going to be moving from a H9 case over to a height case, which is the Y70. So Amir says we need we need. I don't blame you. It would be really nice if they would have it over in the Caribbean, right? Uh, it's running smoothly, so smoothly, since Intel ROG updated new BIOS and Intel ME firmware, all ready for MW4 beta weekend. I think a lot of people are certainly excited for that. And you know what sucks? I apologize for anyone that was looking forward to the stream yesterday. I was supposed to stream yesterday, but as you can imagine, it was a bit crazy, especially with I've been running a lot of test marks, and it seems that with this PC that he has, making sure that it's running well. So unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to even get to play Hell Let Loose Vietnam. But I heard a lot of I heard I shouldn't say great things, but I heard mixed things of the gameplay wise. So Martin says, I had to replace the power supply on my new build. I just made a Leanly. It's not so great when it comes to PSUs, was getting a bad connection. Switch back to what I know and grab the Corsair. Oh, okay. That's a shame. So what happened with the Lean Lee was giving you a bad connection. That's pretty, that's a really unique case, I gotta say. But it just sucks. I wonder, sometimes when you do get some electronics such as PSUs, you never know what you'll get, because sometimes you do have the bad eggs that end up trading or returning a part that they technically shouldn't. They should end up getting it replaced. So what's up, Havy? Good morning to you. I think NVIDIA will drop new drivers and NVIDIA app with the new Model C Neural, I believe, during Gamers.com. Yes, I do agree. I think there's actually going to be quite a bit unveiled during them. You have NVIDIA. I think we're going to see more of the testing when it comes to DLSS 5 very soon. And I do also believe GTA 6 is going to be part of it as well when it comes to the whole extended look. So apparently that's also supposed to be at Gamers.com as well. So Hassan says, my Ryzen 9 9950 X3D CPU died. I'll be having, oh really? Oh, that's a shame. So exactly what happened to the CPU? Was it due to a some sort of overclock, or was it out of what type of usage? So Martin says, I swapped two Leanly PSUs and both would give hard spikes. I had a light connector by near them, and they would flicker when they would turn on. And during high loads, my light would then my light in the room would ripple. Oh wow, that's pretty crazy. Almost sounds like it wasn't stable. Practically that it wasn't stable. It sounds like it certainly messed up PSU for sure. So we're gonna switch over to the browser here. Oh, my bad, guys. I'll fix that real quick. Let's see. Right over here. Perfect. So we're going to go over to the browser here. Now, for anyone that is looking for a RTX 5080, they still have a decent one over at Micro Center. They have the RTX 5080, but specifically the short form factor one for about 1,249. So it is still available for anyone that is interested in getting something like a RTX 5080, short form factor. It's still a 5080, but it's cheaper than the majority of the pricing that we see out there. In fact, Amir shared a wonderful picture with me, which I will share in a bit because it's a bit true. In fact, I could actually show it to you now. So also, anyone who has ROG Armory Crate, ensure you update it. Oh, it sounds like there's a big update. Oh yeah, that's right. There is a big update. You just reminded me. That actually happened within the last couple days, was it? That when they had that big update when it came to Armory Crates. Let me see. Let me go back here. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot to hit that switch. Due to a security flaw. Correct. So, um, going over, going over to this side here, I'm going to show you this. So if you look here, this is like pretty much like new pricing that we're seeing, and this is compared to uh, what it used to be. Now, originally the RTX 5070 was about $500. Now it's looking at around $800. RTX 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes, $800 on average. And then you go up to the RTX 5070 Ti 1200, that's about right on average. And then you have RTX 5080s around 1700s, and you have the RTX 5090 around $5,000. Now, it just seems like it just constantly goes up in pricing, and it seems that there are no breaks. But of course, you have the mockery down here where it says PC Elite Gaming, but the truth is, they might laugh about this now, but this just is going to make everything worse, even when it comes to the console side. If you want to get a PS6, you want to get a Xbox Project Helix, it's also going to affect it. You thought $1,200 is bad. Expect it to go up even higher now. It's going to go closer to more like $1,400, $1,500. So, unfortunately, this is more of a waved effect. Yes, NVIDIA got affected first, but also, I do want to remind everybody out there, if I go down here, I can actually show you the average pricing of how it's looking right now when it comes to the price chart of AMD. And this is on the average of the RX 9070 XT. You got $830 becomes $1,037. Oh, what's up? Great to see you, Kyopo. Great to see you, Steve. I opened the PBO setting on the BIOS. Temps was near 90 degrees Celsius. Wow. Yeah, you're pretty much you were up there. And that was on the BIOS. That is insane. Was it the cooler itself? Did it end up failing? Because it should not get that hot, especially like was it in the BIOS? I just want to confirm that. So, yes, the pricing when it comes to RX 9070, again, 770 becomes $830, and then you have the GRE, which was originally 592, and then it turned into 680. Now, I know some of the pricing that you might be like, well, it was cheaper than that, wasn't it? It was. It was cheaper than that, specifically in the US region or in some other areas of the world. But when it comes to over in places like in Hong Kong, over in China, they have faced these average pricings, so to say. So it's gone up even higher. So you're looking at 20% increases. And then you're looking at as lows as 7% or 5.6%. So if you are looking to upgrade a GPU, this is a decent signal about to actually get a GPU when you can. So I heard so let's see what Kyopo says. I I heard if you RMA DDR5 RAMs right now, manufacturers just give you the refund on the original sale and keep the RAM. It's becoming a bit more common now. When it comes to returning anything, when it comes to this PC space, when it comes to returning SSDs, when it comes to returning RAM, when it comes to returning even a GPU, more than likely they will not really honor just replacing the part anymore. Instead, they want to give you what you paid for the item. And I feel that's a large mistake, especially when it comes to the manufacturer's parts. Specifically, I don't know if you heard some stories such as Samsung. Somebody turned in, I think it was a 990 drive, which was 4 TB or 8 TB. So it was a large capacity drive. They turned it into over Samsung. After they turned it into Samsung, said, okay, you're right, the drive is bad, but the most we can do for you is we can give you a check on what you paid for it. And of course, he responded, well, I don't want that. I don't want the check. I actually want the replacement of the SSD. And you guys have to honor it. And they pretty much went at it about getting a new drive or even paying back the amount that it's currently worth currently worth. I mean, if we take a look at it now, I think the price adjustment has been a little bit better, but not the best, which is right here. Of course, this isn't going to be, oh wow, I guess they have none. Let's take a look here. I'm going to look up 8 TB drives, and it would be closer in the ballpark of this, $2,700. So of course they're not going to pay. You paid $800 more than likely for the drive, and unfortunately, they didn't want to give that amount. So instead, they were forced to pretty much give up the hardware. So if anyone does run into that type of issue, I certainly stress on making sure that you get the hardware you deserve and do not accept anything lower than what it's worth, because then it's just not fair to you. Are you willing to spend an extra $1,700? If they said, okay, we'll give you $1,000, they make it sound like a better deal. You paid $800, but they said, we'll give you $1,000. Never take those type of offers. Make sure you get what you deserve. And also, if you're taking a check, and if you're not, make sure that you get the hardware back that you also deserve. So let's go back up here. Pricing will never come back down. Once consumers keep buying things at these prices, almost impossible to bring back. And it's the hard reality of life. Unfortunately, when prices rises, it's very hard for it to go back to lower pricing. Unfortunately, those days of a $100 DDR5 kit is gone. More than likely, even if it did drop down in price, maybe it's going to be $250. It'll be a lot better than what it was, but it's never going to truly go back down to the normal range anymore. So I'm still waiting for the 5080 Super, as the 5080 with 16 gigabytes of VRAM is still not enough for flight sim. Yes, I do agree. We are starting to hit limitations when it comes to GPUs, but in a way, it's a good thing. And the reason why, I'll explain why it's a good thing. The reason why it's such a great thing when this happens, it shows that optimizations need to be made. And if they keep failing these optimizations, then it's just going to cause less and less people to want to purchase a new product, because it should be properly optimized. Not everyone's going to be gaming on an RTX 5090, and that's a reality of life. Nobody has truly, even RTX 4090s, not many people do. And they really truly need to start to work on the 16 gigabyte limit, if anything, even less. More than they should work on a 8 gigabyte limit, because that's more of the standard that they currently have now, before they start stretching out into further standards into 16 gigabytes and 32 gigabytes. So China is struggling with the White House market bubble popped in 2021. It's been really bad since they injected 54 billion. Yes, they actually did that. I think it was in the last week. The Japanese, Chinese also save a lot. They aren't spending like Europeans and Americans. Well, I mean, even here, to be honest, I haven't even in the U.S. I feel like I haven't seen people willing to spend as much. Definitely a lot slower responses. So I'm going to throw out a poll out there out of curiosity, because I'm curious how everyone is also facing this issue. It doesn't matter if you're in the U.S. Because this poll will still apply to everyone. And what I do truly want to ask everybody is that if you're selling any type of electronics, whether if it's video cards, whether if it's a CPU, whether whatever type of PC hardware, or even say a console, when you put it up on a place like Facebook, or you put it up onto some sort of online marketplace, are you facing difficulties on selling products or even getting hits on the product? So I will ask, are you facing difficulty selling electronics? So that is the poll that I throw up there. You can feel free to vote, 1 or 2. Hey, what's up, Ernesto? Great to see you. Shout out there, Ernesto. Just join back to the wonderful fan band once again. So feel free to vote. You just put 1 or 2. If you can answer it if you're trying to sell any type of electronics, whether it's a console, whether if it's an SSD, anything. Have you been facing a little bit more difficulty on selling used products? Have you noticed that people are not spending as much when it comes to electronics currently right now? Xenomorph, what's going on? Great to see you. Let me see. Let me get back here because that's Louis Rossman. He sued the Samsung for his 990. Oh, 4 terabytes. So it was a 4 terabyte drive, and yeah, exactly. And that's correct. He deserves the full amount. So that's what I figured. Had a feeling somebody would know the story, but I'm glad that he was able to get his money back, and that's what I stress about. Everyone deserves their full market value, whether if it went up or down, because it's currently still in the market. As long as if they're selling the product, they have to match that pricing. So if you bought it before Ramageddon, it's a huge loss. Unfortunately, that's the truth. Um, you ever see the meme of how when it comes to purchasing RAM, 32 gigabytes or 64 gigabytes, they have the kind of like the snobby look, like, yeah, I got 32 gigabytes, I got 64 gigabytes prior to 2025. So do not overclock your hardware. It's not as, yeah, it's not, to be honest, there's so much power in the hardware now. I mean, we even have factory overclocks, for God's sakes. Uh, so it's like you truly don't need to overclock as much unless you're trying to truly break records. And getting those extra, even say like 8 to 10 frames, is not going to be worth it. It just isn't. Especially if you want your hardware to last. NVIDIA did say that they did want to work on adding SSDs to expand memory and future GPUs. ASUS was doing it like on the 4060 Ti. Makes perfect sense. So let me get back. Amir wants to show us the products 9100 M.2. Okay, definitely take a look at that. And thank you for subscribing. I think I couldn't see that. I apologize. uh, so I do sell a lot of used parts, and I try to be fair with pricing. I will say PC parts are still the quickest movers. Interesting. That's pretty awesome. But you sell them on eBay as well. Okay, eBay, I feel like is an easier place to sell. The only problem with eBay, which bothers me, I'm sure it bothers everybody, is just how much they take out of it. How much do they take out of a used item if you sell it, Martin? Like out of, like, say if you're selling a kit of RAM or if you're selling some SSDs, just out of curiosity. Yes, I do have Gen 5 NVMEs. I do use them, but again, I had a lot of them prior to this whole Ramageddon. And also, I know it's terrible, right? Um, but again, there's honestly truly no use for the average person when it comes to Gen 5. You could get away with Gen 3 and you wouldn't know the difference, to be honest, when it comes to SSDs. They're already fast enough because we don't use truly direct storage. And because of that, we're not going to really utilize the full speeds. We don't even utilize the full speeds of PCI Express, believe it or not. You could turn on PCI Express 3 and you'll notice barely like any difference from PCI Express 5. So you could go from 3 to 4 to 5. Honestly, it won't be that much different because we don't use the bandwidth allocated in that. You know what's the funny part? We're also going to even extend a bit further to PCI Express 6 eventually, and we still haven't utilized the PCI Express 5 speeds as it is. Now, when it comes to, but if you're curious about truly trying to utilize those type of speeds, you have to, specifically when it comes to NVMe's, is be into truly transferring. You have to transfer a lot of data, meaning if you have large raw video files or you have large just files overall, archives, then yes, then it would be good to transfer data off of a Gen 5 NVMe. But other than that, truly not that much of a difference. I just sold a 9070 XT on XT no issue on Facebook. Only issue is that people pay less as they lose the warranty unless the seller gives proof of purchase. Interesting. So invest in a UPS or power filters to defend what you have. Absolutely. And KPS is correct. And let me see. Man, I forgot to turn on my fan here. But speaking of which, what I want to say is when it comes to using things like a UPS battery saver, it's important. You might scuff at it and be like, why do I need it? My PC is perfectly fine without it. So why would I want to spend extra money? Why would I want to spend $300-$400 on something like that? But it's really worth it because you never know when you can run into some sort of issue. Especially for guys that are in Florida, just like us, that are there, or any type of tropical area because of you have hurricanes. And because when you have these hurricanes, it can certainly actually cause damages to your PC because of the surges from, you never know when you get a spike into, for example, your house. And if it does happen, then your PC ends up getting massively damaged, all because you chose not to use a battery backup system. In fact, there was even one guy that had a lightning strike that hit right by his house and ended up traveling through his Ethernet port and blew out his PC through the Ethernet port, which is insane. So I do agree, invest in a decent UPS and you can prevent issues like that. So even if you're wondering what those Ethernet ports are, make sure to use them. Don't don't trust yourself to unplug. Correct. So if under warranty, the company, no matter what, should honor the price for the company set for the replacement, but not refund. I agree. Brown Power can, you know what it is that they feel like they can, they feel that consumers, I hate to say it, they feel like consumers are not smart enough to be able to realize like, okay, like, yeah, I'll take the check, but they feel that we're not smart enough to respond to them. And because of that, they get into issues just like this. So always make sure you stand your ground on your beliefs on getting the new hardware that should be properly replaced or getting the proper market value. Brown power can kill somebody. uh, I've seen returns of RTX 5090s without VRAMs on eBay. Oh man, that's quite terrible. VRAMs, they've missed GPUs even inside of the actual graphics card. Instead, they just get the PCB with no VRAM and no GPU. So somewhere around 10%, I think they take a lot. Oh yeah, yeah, they take quite a bit. I feel like for us, like at least in the US, I know they take more than that for us. But maybe it's because, um, yeah, it's insane. Like I don't like their fees at all. I feel like it's ridiculous. So have you thought about, I'll turn off the poll since we get the majority. So people aren't having a difficult time selling. It's more so that they had to adjust to today's times when it comes to pricing. So uh Xenomorph says, have you ever thought what you would say to your younger self like in 2004? Like, what would a young Chris react to any of these capacities or into a tech store? You know what? I haven't actually thought about it in that sense. But if I were ever to tell myself, even in 2024, and said, "Hey, RAM's going to be more expensive than you can imagine, more expensive than any type of PC hardware you can purchase, but a GPU," I would I would probably laugh it off, and I would think I was on some sort of drugs. And I would be like, what kind of drugs did I end up doing in the future? That's what I would think. So I'm sure anyone else would probably feel the same way, especially because DRAM is not expensive, but it turned expensive because of demand. So I do want a 9100 Pro, at least 2 TB for 52 core Nova Lake. It would be nice. And it's crazy. I'm like kind of being a preserve. I'm like, I have certain parts, certain hardware, that I kind of don't want to put into a PC because I'm like preserving it, because I'm afraid that as soon as I put it into that PC, that's pretty much it. So but I know exactly that type of feeling, like where if you purchase so many of it, like you purchase so much RAM, you purchase so many SSDs, or it comes to any PC hardware, then when it comes time to use it, it's like you kind of don't want to because you know how expensive everything is. So we would all rival Musk for wealth if I knew. Yeah, I think so. You know how much investments I would have loved to make back then. It's like some investments I wish I made back then, because then I certainly wouldn't have to worry about it today. So Ernesto said, "Who would have thought PC parts would be a?" I know it's better than gold at times. I gotta say, there's no such thing as a tech store in my town. We have 3 movie theaters and so you got 3 movie theaters, but no tech stores. That is quite frustrating. That shows you that town is more focused on showing you the entertainment than you being able to play the entertainment. So I do agree with KPS here. And stock up on RAM, SSDs. Where is your right hand Takuma? I don't know, actually. I'm not sure where he's at today, but I'm sure he'll pop in, or maybe he's busy doing something. I think he was last time I was talking to him, I know he was out. What was it? He was out working on trying to get some. I think he was out doing some work. I remember. So he's definitely a busy guy. I can say that for sure. Dark Style Tech, what's up? Destiny, what's going on? What's up, Rainbow? Mr. Rainbow, great to see you. How's the coffee shop going? Motherboard and CPU prices will be expensive soon. Absolutely. Motherboard pricing is like another thing that's being brought up, which is going up in cost. Let me go back here to Micro Center. So I just want to repeat to everybody who's just coming in, especially if you're in a location like Florida, or if you're in an area where you have some sort of savings when it comes to taxes. You want to take advantage of the deals at Micro Center or Newegg or Amazon, because for us in Florida it ends on the 20th. So make sure, if you do have any specific needs when it comes to electronics, make sure that you make those purchases. Like, there's some things that I'm half tempted to even get a display out of this. So dark style, and even with your wall switch, I lost a motherboard and CPU because of relative flicked. The wall. Oh wow, that's pretty wild actually. So you had a switch to cut off power on the wall, and even that actually turned on and off. It ended up destroying your motherboard. That's pretty insane actually. I couldn't imagine that. Oh, you had 3 movie theater. Oh, that's a shame. So what's there left over there now? We're on pause right now. We're remodeling. We might not recover from that. Probably going to close the store. Oh, that's a shame. Sorry to hear that. I was hoping one day to try out the coffee shop over there. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. We're definitely living through some very interesting times. And to be honest, with everything going on here, um, I have to say, I'm a bit conflicted, to be honest. So I know a lot of you guys are looking forward to like cases like CES. I'm kind of feeling conflicted about going at times because I just feel my morale is just like getting murdered, especially when it comes to the whole AI side. It's just making me less interested in going, and instead just focus more maybe into Computex. I wanted to go to both. I wanted to go to I want to go to CS, and I wanted to go to Computex, but I'm hoping maybe Computex would be the better time because right now I kind of feel the morale's just getting worse, seeing the pricing just going up, but just have confidence. It will return eventually. It's just we just need to see the true side of AI. And I think especially because when they start realizing, especially when it comes to investments and investors, once they realize that there isn't enough money coming through, then I think you would start to see the actual face, the bubble pop, so to say, when it comes to AI. So there are so few videos on my there are so few videos on YouTube of people building from unused old tech. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately that's the case. I need a new vacuum cleaner and a new PSU, but the motherboard are about to do what the GPUs did. Yeah, I agree. I think Black Friday is going to be interesting, especially this upcoming year. I think I'm really curious on the type of sales that they pull, because then would them the key is you want to bring back confidence into the people, especially when they are purchasing items. There are certain great deals, like take a look at this power spec G732, where it has a 5060 Ti for $1,500, not bad, still under $2,000. Still can get a gaming PC for under $2,000 if you truly wanted to. In fact, we did a PC build under 2,000. But it's just the fact that you see all the pricing going up, you start to question: is it going to be truly possible? Will it be possible in the future? So Xenomorph says, I think I've asked this before, but have you ever thought about building a old school PC? I do. I am thinking of it, and like a Pentium 2 PC today. I would love to. We would just have to figure out if they. The trickiest part is if it works. I feel like that's the trickiest part. I have to make sure it works, and but it would certainly be fun to do. And I thought of also doing retro builds too, like getting an old PC case and pretty much turning it into a new PC. I think that would be a pretty fun project as well. So let me see. Every YouTuber is pushing AM5, but that requires DDR5 RAM. I don't think staying on AM4 is that bad. DDR4, I do have to say what's interesting here, because I'm glad Steve actually brought this up. Reason why I'm glad he did is because Gigabyte actually came out with something. They actually reiterated, or it came out with the B450 board. And I'll show you exactly this. So it shows you on the tech side of things here, if I'll go right down to it. Right here. So they launched two types of it, of B450. They got B450M and the B450P. So welcome back. Welcome back, AM4. And well, truly, I shouldn't even say welcome back. I should say it's never left. So they are bringing back some older tech. It's kind of interesting, especially because this last debuted in 2018. So they are coming out with two different boards, and I think it's more of the minimalistic boards, which is smart because the people that are building and trying to save some sort of extra money is looking for something a bit cheaper. And so they came out with the two boards, specifically the B450M D3HP, and they also have the Wi-Fi 6E version. So of course one doesn't have the Wi-Fi, so you can imagine the boards are quite a bit cheaper, and it comes with the DDR4 that you can install into it, two M.2 slots, and it also still contains QFlash. I'm pretty sure that they updated some of the chipsets in here, but of course it's you're talking about more of PCI Express 3 compatibility when it comes to this motherboard. So DDR4 is on its own cauldron. Most Project Medieval Tech. Most people don't have 32 gigabyte DDR4 kits. If you want to get bigger, you got to do new. Um, that's a See, the difficulty to explain to everybody, I gotta say, is when it comes to RAM, it's not that much of a price difference if you take a look at DDR4 and DDR5, um, especially when it comes to the kits. Most of the kits that they do sell will end up being a little bit cheaper if you just go with DDR5 anyway, um, which we'll take a look at Micro Center in a bit. So it's like PCI Express, Gen 4 and Gen 5, hardly any difference. Yeah, pretty much. But I think that's like one of the key factors when it comes to, I gotta say, marketing more than anything, is you won't really truly experience the difference, especially when it comes to gaming. Naturally, you want to have the best of everything, but having the best of everything doesn't mean that you'll be able to reach those limitations. So I like 1% lows with DDR5. Makes sense. So we'll go back here to Micro Center, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Unless Micro Center or Newegg comes out with some sort of bundle where it's a decent deal. Okay, you got the 5500, which is AM4, and it comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. And it does feature the B550M, so it's $250 to get started with this bundle at the lowest. Tune your RAM, and I get nice lows and highs with my DDR4. Sounds like we got a competition here. You will own nothing and be happy. Seems likely with these prices. You know what we have to do? I'll do upcoming test. We can always do like DDR4 versus DDR5 to truly see it and have the most closely compatible side-to-side hardware. For example, a 5800 X3D going up against a 9800 X3D, and compared a similar set of RAM sticks, capacity-wise and best speeds available. For example, 3200 on the AM4, and then for AMD go 6000. I think that would be quite interesting. At least pretend to be, yeah. And cloud gaming, you know, I gotta say this. I do want to bring this up about GTA 6, because how they're debuting GTA 6 Extended Look on Netflix. Do you guys believe that what they're going to do once they debut it is say, hey, I want here on Netflix exclusively, you'll be able to game on GTA 6 on Netflix. Surprise. And Netflix will have their own type of controller. Could you imagine that, a Netflix controller? Because Netflix has been trying to get into the gaming side. So do you think GTA 6 will be on the cloud on Netflix? So I will throw that poll out there, and let me know what you think, because it's a possibility. You never know. I mean, there has to be a purpose behind it. I'm actually going to build an AM4 system for my girlfriend. Of course, she pays for it. I'm just building it. Anything around would be an upgrade compared to her current 7th Gen i5. That's true. Um, eh, 16 is plenty. I never yet gone over 16 gigabytes in gaming. It all depends on resolution too. It depends the type of resolution you're using. If you choose to go into something like 1440 and an ultra wide monitor, or you want to try to go into 4K, then yes, it can extend over it, or depending on the type of settings that you do have. But as long as if you're gaming in 1080p, most people will be happy with 16 gigabytes for sure. So AMD needs to bring out new AM4 high-end chips that include a 5950 X3D. Intel plans on giving out more LGA 1700 DDR. Yeah, yeah, I actually just brought that up. So just imagine that they are actually going to be pushing new processors for LGA 1700. Congratulations to those who have LGA 1700s. That's a big win. It's a shame that what they've done to the whole Arrow Lake series. Arrowlink is actually a really good chipset to actually get. But if you are looking for a good deal, I would certainly suggest it because that 270K plus is an absolute beast. So everyday gaming, that the 32 gigabytes thing I said is not important. The Windows 11 is so bad with it is bad, and it just anytime I see the capacity being used up on Windows 11, it makes me want to throw up. Doesn't matter how much capacity that you put in there. For some reason, Windows always wants to take more. It's greedy. Windows 11 can be greedy. If you had 32 gigabytes, it wants to make sure that it uses 12 gigabytes of your RAM. You have 48 gigabytes. It wants to make sure to use about 19 gigabytes of your space. And then the more you go up, the more higher usage that Windows 11 goes up. And that was always the positive about Linux. GTA 6 will need to be able to play on PS5 also for backwards compatibility. Yes. Uh, you would hope so. But to be in reality, we all know this. Uh, if they get rid of something like this when it comes to the whole physical space, this is one less trouble. This is one less piece of trouble that they can get rid of when it comes to backwards compatibility, because they're gonna have to say they're gonna have to optimize the game for the new system. So I want to be surprised if they're like, yeah, you can port over your game, almost like what they did before, like when PS5 first came out, was that yeah, we can port it over, but you just had to pay, I think it was $10 at the time, $10 or $15, and you can port over the game. And really, not that bad of a deal, right? But then you truly think about it, you already own the game, so why do you have to pay more in order to play it? So I felt like that was like almost like a test phase, like a very, very early test phase. And more than likely, I see this happening also with Sony, doing it the same way when it comes to upgrading any type of games that you would like. KPS says, I have one AMD system using DDR4. It's the 5950X from 2021, but it's only 32 gigabytes. Hey, I'm on a DDR4 system now, in fact, and the DDR4 system I'm on now, but it's a thread ripper build. So just, but of course, it's still great, but it's also showing its age too at the same time. So using the most famous 3600 megahertz L16, nice. It will be interesting to see how much a PS6 will be. I believe 1200. I think it's going to exceed even more, to be honest. At these rates, if the pricing continues to go up, I think it will certainly exceed it. So it wants to show us, it wants to show you all the ads. Do you want to use Copilot? Yeah, that's exactly why we're giving more RAM, right? It wants to share more ads for us. That's the perfect reason. And they want you to increase your bandwidth while you're at it. Those with PS5 Pros from dips are in a inevitable position to me. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I wish there was great news. The only closest thing we have to good news is that they're bringing back AM4. That's somewhat good news. That it's still tax-free time in Florida, or still a chance to actually purchase GPUs cheaper if you truly need to, or going with the bundles. That's the best I can do for like the best news. But what I'm gonna do for tomorrow, I actually wanted to do a video on this whole rebuild, but unfortunately I don't think I'll have the time to do the video of the rebuild. But as soon as I get it done, I'll make sure to post it. But what I plan on doing for the release for tomorrow, when it comes to the video, will be going to be the best deals that you can get. What I'm gonna pretty much gather all the information that I have, share all the different best deals that you can get for any type of upgrades when it comes to GPUs, when it comes to SSDs or RAM. Uh, I'll find and gather all those deals together, and I'll share it with everybody, because I know everyone is trying to do the best that they can when it comes to purchasing wisely when it comes to PC components. So companies think that they are immortal and they can't die. So did Sears. They were around for 100. That is true. What do you think RDNA 5 will it be called the 170 XT? Hard to say, but I'm pretty confident that when it comes to, I'll shut off the poll. It seems the majority says no. So I can say this. I believe when it comes to RDNA 5, that they will definitely certainly add a AI to it. So they're gonna call it maybe like 10,000 AI or something. It's gonna be completely off the wall. Maybe AI 100. Maybe they'll start over the series from back to the hundreds. But I believe both AMD and NVIDIA will add some sort of AI to their context when it comes to the wording. Any news on the Windows? They spoke of this. It's funny that you bring this up. They spoke of Windows 12, and it's certainly in high. They are developing it, but they just haven't quite brought it out to the public yet. And I have a feeling, and no, it's you're okay, Nellis. Looks like I didn't miss any good news. Yeah, unfortunately, no. I wish there was great news. I wish I was here to tell you to say that that AI has finally started to begin to crash. So, but yes, Windows 12 is currently being worked on, but I do have suspicions why they pulled away from the project. In fact, we were actually supposed to see it sometime this year, I believe, but I believe they pulled from the project because it's just like all OSs, and due to time with hardware, it's going to require a bit more power. And then Windows 11 just recently backtracked what they said that, oh, 32 gigabytes is no longer the minimum we truly require for the pro usage, that they said 8 gigabytes is perfectly fine. So talk about complete BS. I heard AMD was moving away from AI with their Ryzen 500 series chips. Really? If that would be a big shock to me. That would be a big shocker. This computer has a 5800 XT. It does great when playing Silent Hill 2 remakes. I even set it to sync at 60 FPS to stop at the Unreal Engine 5 stutter, and it worked. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So if anyone has a stupid performance HUD they can't figure out, I finally figured out my blight. Oh, it was Steam. Gotta close the Steam performance HUD. It was the stat. Yeah, that could be it. Are you playing, out of curiosity, KPS? Are you playing on a Are you playing on Windows, or are you playing on like a Steam OS or on into Linux? At least the naming scheme, Gamers Meld has reported it. Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, he's a good guy too. He's a great guy. Simplicity. Thank you for the alert. As always, thank you for popping your head. But yeah, let's go into the whole pricing side when it comes to the whole, if you're looking to build a PC, I certainly would recommend taking a look at the bundles more than anything. And of course, you'll save so much more if you take a look at the bundles, because they have, if you want to enter AM5, they have decent kits. Unfortunately, they did raise up the pricing a bit, and I'm afraid it's going to raise up again. All we see is nothing but increases. Like within like almost every 2 months, we see an increase, and it's slight. They make it so small, so incremental, that they hope people don't notice. But we do pick up on it. And then if you truly think of like how much it started from the beginning of year, from January, you can see that the price gap is so much larger compared to what it was then. So Simplicity says, I want to upgrade to a 5070 Ti. I get it. I'm playing on Linux. Okay, okay. Perfect. That makes sense. Uh so keep Steam and Windows 11. That makes sense. Yeah, Windows 11 can do it. I highly recommend anybody that does game into Windows, just use something like Rivet Tuner. Great tool to use if you want to be able to track all your games, and you'll be able to track your different temperatures. You're still on the fence about the AMD RX 9070 XT. I get it. I can see why you could be on the fence for it, because um now if you're going between a 5070 Ti and you're on Steam, right? So I mean, if you're playing on, oh no, I'm getting you confused with Steve. Um so if you're gaming on Windows, I still recommend getting an RX 9070 XT. It's still a great GPU. even on a Linux based OS. I would say either one would be actually great. Give it a chance. I believe you would be very happy with the results. So, Gamers Neld is a anti NVIDIA channel. They will never say anything good about NVIDIA, even though NVIDIA invented gaming on PC. uh, they pretty much did. They kind of like really truly innovated the wheel because they at the time when it came to NVIDIA, they had to compete with other 3D companies. There was like actually quite a bit. It was like over 20. And NVIDIA was able to break through and figure out how to truly use 3D properly onto the PC. Have a true dedicated 3D GPU that was able to render it. And they managed to make it and figure it out, but it's quite incredible what they did. I will always respect them for that, but I don't want them to forget their true core. And at times, I feel like NVIDIA does uh, show signs that they end up forgetting the gamers that also brought them here. I mean, they spoke on trying to create the new 60 series, and creating the new 60 series typically would happen within about this year. It's typically every 2 years, or yeah, like 2 years that you'll see a new GPU. And we're definitely not going to see one this year. Uh, if we're lucky, we'll get to see the Super. And if we don't see the Super, I also wouldn't be that surprised. And NVIDIA was speaking on behalf of if they come out with a new GPU, it's not going to happen, at least until 2028. And if that's the case, if NVIDIA is thinking this, that also means the consoles are also going to delay as well. And the reason being is because the cost is too expensive. So that's their way of saying that the cost is expensive. We're just going to wait and wait till it somewhat drops. But again, when the 60 series does come out, don't expect it to be, don't expect the RTX 6080, for example, to magically fall down to $1,000. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. You're going to see a different average when it comes to pricing for sure, especially if it contains more VRAM. So, I spent 30 minutes with an AI agent going through every piece of software on my system until Steam. Yeah, yeah, believe it or not, it will take up a bit of a hit. Unless you're on a system like more on a Linux-based system, then you can get away with it. But as long as if you're on Windows, it's just so much that it requires out of your system to run in the background in order for it to actually show you these stats. So I have a 1200 watt Be Quiet PSU. Awesome. MSI B850M Mobo, 32 gigabytes of G-Skill Ripjaw, Samsung 1 terabyte 990, and Aqua Elite V6 cooler with a Antuck Flux M case, just waiting for the next gen. Oh, if Amir's here, or if anyone wants to show their PCs, wants to show them off, feel free. Just join the Discord. As long as you join the Discord, then we can show off the PC there. Agree. Never forget where you come from, and that means all of us. I agree, 100% agree. I would go with X870E after running it for a year stable. So the MLID keeps reporting super being pushed back to the next year. Yeah, it makes me sketch out once again. It gives me mixed feelings about going to CES this year. I have to say, of course, if you guys would definitely want to see CES and you are curious to see what they have, let me know for sure. Because of course, everybody's input here does matter about whether going on to this trip or not. I just I just hope it's not another conference of AI because oh man, I'm not going to go to those press conferences anymore. I feel like it's a waste of time. So at times, especially when they can constantly talk about AI. So I want to build another PC. More than likely, I'll switch my motherboard and CPU and turn it into a gaming PC. And the other, which is the streaming one, I'll use the AMD Ryzen 7 9700. Nice. So you're trying to do more of a, okay, okay. I see what you're doing. That's nice. Memory combo with the combo I'll be looking at. Yeah, that'd be nice. If I had 30K dedicated, I would go 5090 32 gigabytes. Nice, nice. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Which channel do we upload our builds on Discord? It's going to be on the build station. So if you guys are curious, I mean the battle station. So if you go over to Discord, guys, and you go to the channel, just scroll down to Silicon Gallery, and you'll see battle stations. And if you post it up onto battle stations, you can show off your PC builds there. So it'll look like something like this. I'll show you the Discord view real quick, guys, so you can check it out. So I'll be in the battle station side right there under Silicon Gallery, right there when you go into the channel. So feel free to join in on Discord. Of course, if you're curious about how joining the Discord, just put the command !Discord, and the Discord link will come up. So let's go back here. So if once again, if you're into trying to build a PC, the best way to do it, don't buy the parts individually, because that is what will end up bringing up the cost. Sure, it's nice to get like all your individual components, but if you are really picky about your parts, I get it. Usually the Newegg would be the best bet for something like that if you want to get very particular parts. They have some great deals, I gotta say. Like if you like MSI Carbon, that would be one way to go. Let me see. Let's go actually to Newegg real quick. And the best way to look for some of their bundles is if you actually look up the motherboard itself. And when you look up the motherboard, for example, you want the X. Do we put the command in the? Yes, you can put the command in the chat and it will come up. If it doesn't come up, I will force it up. So X870 Carbon. And right here, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. That's the worst elites. MSI, I have to really add MSI Carbon. Oh, maybe they don't have any in stock left. Oh, that's disappointing if they don't. Okay. If they don't have that in stock, then that's okay. We'll look up something else then. Actually, this one's a good one. Gigabyte's Arrow, the AM5 Wood. This is a good example. So there you go. So for example, this will come up here, and you'll see that it's priced at $400. And if you're curious about how you can get that bundled in, you just scroll down here, and you'll actually see different scenarios where they have it together. For example, if they add this specific combo, they have the PC case, they have the SSD, some RAM, and of course the processor, all for $21.56. So you save about $57. Now, of course, if you have some of the components, say you have the SSD, you don't need that. You can remove it, and then you can see that you can drop your price there. So altogether, it's about $17.71. I know this one's kind of more of an expensive one, but usually they'll have even better deals. Like if you go into Newegg here and take a look at the different combos, you can actually build them over into the different combo sets by hitting more options. And here you can actually select the different combos that you could put together. And the good thing is, if you have a older GPU, just say, Newegg is very good about trading in your old hardware. So if you have old hardware that you want to trade in, feel free. You can trade it into Newegg, and they will give you pretty much a credit into being able to purchase your new PC build. So you can build up your combo just like this, and I'll show a recommended side of certain processors that you can save on. For example, for 14900K, you would get $30 off. 12900K, you can get up to $60 off. So like say like we go with an AMD build. So if we go with the AMD build, and we want to go with, say, something like this. 9600X, which is only 200 bucks. Not a bad deal. It runs only 65 watts on TDP. Especially if you're looking for something that's a bit more power saving, so you can go with that option. Noctua has won over 200 awards for their fans. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're amazing. Um, they get a lot of hate because of the color of their fans, but the black ones are pretty sick. Those are the Chroma Max fans, and if you can go for those. They also did come out with, I'll show you in a bit too. In fact, they have a new cooler where it's actually just all Chroma Max instead of the brown, the signature brown color that Noctua has. But great company too, great cooler. And I still got to do more testing on that Steam build that has the Noctua fans, but it stayed cool. I never was able to truly throttle out the CPU. There was no chance of it even reaching the highest temperature that I've ever gotten on that was like 75 degrees, and that's with the Noctua NL136 fans. AIO pretty much there. So let's go down here. Okay, perfect. So if we were to pick a kit and we want to save, you want to look for the little items such as this. They have like, what's up? What's up, Fred? Great to see you. Uh, so for example, the Ryzen 7 7800X3D has a CX750 power supply with it. Or you can choose to say go with something like this. You want to go aim for you can. They have the 10th anniversary edition, and it comes with a 240 millimeter AIO that you can use for the PC. So you can select your options such as that. Is 750 watts enough for you? If it's not, choose a different option. You can choose to go 5800 Extra D, or you can choose to go, for example, free Cooler Master Elite Liquid 240 CPU AIO 7700 Extra D. Make sure to weigh your options. This one's actually a decent choice. So let's say we go with something like this. And then you go to the motherboard side, and they'll give you different various motherboards that you can actually select with when it comes to your PC build kit. What's up, Smitty? Is anyone going to play MW4 beta next week? I bet there is. In fact, Amir, I was going to ask you, um, did you want to post up your build too about when it came to your Haven 420 case with the new fans in there? That way we can show everybody off your case. I just picked up the Ryzen 5 5600G, 32 gigabytes of DDR4, RTX 2060, 4 terabytes, 990 NVMe for $350. Wow, that's insanely good. That's actually a really good deal for $350. Yeah, it is. Sure, go ahead. Okay, so what Amir has when it comes to his PC build, he has the new Haven 420 case. Very large case. He got his massive upgrades here. Let me see. Let me go find him real quick. So it looks just like this, guys. And it's quite beautiful. So, Chris, did you play this in there? No, I did not. I didn't get to play yet. I want to play Hell Let Loose. I've been dying to play it too. I was supposed to stream it yesterday, but we ended up getting I ended up getting backtracked with doing some bench testing on some PCs here. But yeah, take a look at this, guys. Take a look at that. So this is the Haven 420 case that he has. Now this is the 420 millimeter AIO that he also has with it, so it's 140 millimeter fans. He also got some new reverse blade fans, also for the Haven build. But yeah, this is it here. Really nice build, and this is actually an Intel based build. So, and I'll get back to the other ones, the other pictures real quick too. Let me see. And this is how it looks when it's on. And he says his temperature is going to be any better. And take a look at that, guys. This is it. Up close and personal. But talk about beast right here. Isn't that really nice? So I gotta ask, like, so how? So Amir, real quick, what's the highest temperature that you've faced so far when it comes to this PC? Just out of curiosity, what has been the highest temperature that you faced on that PC? Because I mean, with that new case, you're definitely getting plenty of airflow now. That's pretty sick. Not really exactly tech related, but did you see modders supported Destiny 1 to PC? Oh, that's dope. And with Destiny 2, they have bringing back old deleted DLCs. Are you able to play online too? Just to clarify, on your server, I only see the three channels: new drops, updates, and farewells. Oh, okay. Um, sorry about that. So, in order for you to join in, if you go up to the top of the server, for anyone that's just joining in onto Discord, I'll show you exactly how to do it. At the moment, CPU temps around. Damn, that's so good. That's excellent. I have actually a couple friends that have Intel that's struggling with the Battlefield right now. So that's actually one of the games I'm going to test later on, an Intel 14 700K, and he has the 14 900K as well. The other friend, and I'm curious to see what type of temperatures are. And Black Ops 7 around 53 degrees. Excellent. Okay, Destiny 1, yes. Destiny 2, no. Let me go back to Charizard's question real quick. So if you're into Discord server, I'm going to tell you where to go if you only see three channels. Now, I know some people might get confused about it. I got to fix, I believe, the link for the for the chat here to make it a bit easier. Go all the way to the top of the Discord right here. Let me show you. So if you go all the way to the top here onto the Discord, you're going to see rules. You're going to hit the rules side, and then once you hit the rules side, you're gonna go just down to the server rules. And you're gonna hit the green check mark. And once you hit the green check mark, that's how you get access to the server. Yes. Thank you, Simplicity. Yeah, so just all you have to do is accept the server rules, and you'll be able to go into the server. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, I should have the link directly to the rules. That way, it makes it a lot easier for everybody just to go into it. But yeah, you'll go to the rules onto the top, hit the green check mark, and all the other channels will unlock. So, but by the way, I am going for the water ending in Silent Hill 2 remake. So if I could get the key for the sorrow to get the another ending, nice. I consider DDR5 pricing hate speed. I know, I'm even scared to go to the memory side of this. Like when it comes to the bundle side for Newegg here. Because it just, like, you just know it's going to get expensive once you go into that side. Once you go into the bundling side. So let me see here. So we select, let's go cheap. All right. We got a 7700 X3D. And for this, we can honestly get the 144.99 because we just want to go a little cheaper. If you go a little bit more, you can get the B850 Max. That's actually not that bad of a deal. Let's say you're on a truly tight budget. It says, but this deal, it says it offers $80 off of the processor, including $20 off of the motherboard. So is that truly that much of a significant difference? So let me click that, just out of curiosity. Okay, so that's what I figured. It's saying that you're saving $80 off of this processor with this kit, and plus you're saving $20 off of this kit. So let me see which one of the channels they post on. So you just go to the battle stations on Silicon Gallery. It's gonna be in Silicon Gallery. It's gonna be under the chit chat side of the server, and then go to Silicon Gallery under battle stations. No, you're good. Best thermal paste, yeah, Thermal Grizzly Doorknob Pro. And you used the thermal paste, right? You didn't actually use the thermal pack. Because I know that's like a big thing between people. And you also have your own loading plate as well, right? You have you put Thermal Grizzly's loading plate, or you are using the stock loading plate on your. Okay. So let's go ahead and select this. And let's skip the GPU side because that's gonna throw everything off. That's gonna make it super expensive. So far for the processor and the motherboard, it's $400, nearly $400. Not terrible, right? This one's gonna be the doozy because it's RAM. RAM's expensive. Okay, so they even offer you the white kit of RAM for $489.99, and that saves you $50. What? That's kind of expensive. So they're saving you $50 off of it. So you're technically spending $837 for this kit. Okay, let's go ahead and compare some other ones because I'm sure we can find a better deal. In fact, there was another deal that I saw that I have to share with you guys. Doorknob is overrated. MX6 is good too. I feel like that's also an excellent paste. MX7 they have their new MX7 that's also really good. That's good stuff. I'm using it on my wife's 12700K. I'm trying Kingpin KPX on my 13900K, and I've been very happy with it. Nice. So let's go ahead and go over to, I'm going to go over to Micro Center back over here. Oh, we don't even want to talk about this thing. If you guys don't know, this is the GPU that is quite costly. That GPU is about, it's very expensive. It's about like $10,000. So that would hurt anybody's pockets. So let's go over to the AMD bundles here and truly compare. So I'm sure with price rising thermal paste, yeah. That's a good point. It might be more than caviar. Let me see. So let's go down here. And if we take a look at some of the AMD bundles here that they have. So roughly, you can get a 9700X, they said, with this specific kit, and you got 32 gigabytes. So it seems like this would be a much better deal compared to this, where they're offering 837. Yes, you get decent RAM. You got very decent RAM. You got a decent motherboard, but the processor is the 7700X 3D versus the 9700X. So remember, the key difference is, yes, this is also a great deal, but this is not an X3D. If you get the X3D version, it's going to be about 750, so it's pushing a bit closer. And this is going to be the B650E compared to the X870. So the closest package would be the 770, would be this, the 7800 X3D. A little bit better of a processor compared to this one. But the RAM is not going to be as good as the Newegg deal. So if you're truly comparing it, the Newegg has a little bit better of the quality parts here compared to the Micro Center parts. But if you are looking to save money, now it's still a great combo, by the way. If you're looking to save money, if you're looking to save the extra $50, then you go with the 7800 X3D bundle because at least you still get the better processor. But the RAM kit, I believe, is going to be the slower RAM kit compared to what they offer with this specific RAM kit, which is CL30, the same, pretty much the same at that case. So Thermal Grizzly products are top notch. They're don't mess around with that guy. That guy's a psycho. He is, absolutely is. Also, also for my CPU, I have Thermal Grizzly contact frame installed. That's what I figured. I thought you had the contact frame also for it. I remember. Same here. I think that they're an awesome addition to any build. Agreed. I agree. So you can't truly go wrong with either bundle. It's all about really preference. If you prefer something more of Gigabyte's X870 gaming Wi-Fi 6 motherboard, or you prefer ASUS's B850 Max gaming Wi-Fi. More than likely, this is Wi-Fi. This is Wi-Fi 6E. It looks like as well, compared to Wi-Fi 6. So there's little differences, little different quirks between the two kits. But honestly, the Nue combo is not really that bad actually compared to Micro Center, because now it seems that Micro Center, it used to be like the cheaper option, but when you really look at it, they're starting to go more neck and neck. Just notice that my 4080 Super WindForce is now 1700. Yeah, I know. Take a look at it's crazy. You look at the 4090s, the average price for the 4090 now is going to be about $2,100. So if you were to look for a used 4090, it's costly, it's expensive. You can expect to spend at least $2,100 for it compared to what it was new. Back then when you first bought it, it was around $1,500. And the 40 series was really the kit that, or not kit, the 40 series was really the a series that ended up, a lot of people said that it's going to be the worst series and the most forgotten in history. But now in hindsight, it seems like 4090 was actually a great GPU. It truly was. And it's one of the GPUs I truly missed. The 4090 was an incredible GPU. It performs really well. The only difference is it was the first of its kind when it had its own original transformer model. Of course, it's not similar to the newer 50 series transformer models, but still a decent GPU. And again, just to inform everybody here, of course, I'm not just saying it to be like if I was an NVIDIA fan, but I'm saying as in because as you guys know, I do also agree that AMD also has a great selection of GPUs as well, and I believe that they're actually better in value, and in savings if you were to go more price to performance on a RX 9070 XT compared to something like a 5070 Ti, because the 5070 Ti, you're going to spend more money. And if you take a look at GPUs here, you can see just how costly it's become when it comes to GPUs. You take a look at just like a 50 series of, say, like even a 5070, it may surprise you. The 5070 itself, you're looking at averages of like if you get PMY, if you're lucky enough, you can get it for about 680. But you're seeing that they're starting to push the price up. Gigabytes at 840 now. Asus has already been the original signaler, as I mentioned. Usually when pricing goes up, Asus is usually the first one to do it, and then everybody else follows and pretty much grows when it comes to it, because they say, "Oh, uh, I'm I'm going to I want to since Asus is raising their prices, we gotta do it too." And usually it's Gigabyte that follows, and then MSI follows, and then you'll start to see their pricing going up, and even Zotac's even starting to pretty much follow up at that point. But PNY, I gotta say, is definitely keeping to its core. I I know I give PMY so much BS as it is, but if you're looking to save money, PMY is not a bad choice. But I do recommend always get the warranty if you can, just in case, to protect your. It's like insurance for your PC, especially when it comes to your GPU. So Smitty says people just need to bite the bullet and upgrade their GPU this time next year. Most cards out now will be 200 and 400 more than current pricing. That's what I stress about. It's going to truly be unaffordable if that's the case. It's going to be cost a lot of people money. So I'd say if you don't upgrade by the end of the year, wait till next gen. I think some people are waiting for that. But the thing is, like even next gen, it's going to be expensive as it is. Uh, as I mentioned, we're never going to truly go back to what it used to be. Um, so I always highly recommend one if you truly need a GPU. Then yes, it would be good to get it. What's up? What's up, Simplicity? What just happened? I posted, but I should have closed all my. Oh, really? Okay, okay. Oh man. All right, let me take a look. Let's see. Okay, I see the new post. That's hilarious. Uh, okay, so I'm gonna go over to the Discord real quick, guys, and I'll show you what's going on here. So you take a look here. Take a look at that. That PC, nice, nice. Almost looks. I like the build, and then you see the whole streamception, right? And then you go over here. Oh, nice, nice. And feel free to share your specs once again if you'd like, for everyone who is curious about your PC build. But yeah, nice, pretty nice build. I wish we had a bit more of a view on the side so we could really see, because I know everyone's mostly curious when it comes to the cable management, if anything. So yeah, I wrote it on there. Oh, okay, okay, my fault. Let me see. So if anyone's curious, here are the specs of the build. Let me go back here, and here it is. I'm going to go back into Discord, and there it is. Those are the specs for the build. I would share, but my yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. It's funny, you know, there's a lot of cases like when I get PC builds, they say, yeah, my it shouldn't be that bad. It shouldn't be that bad because I don't really have too much. And then as soon as I get someone's build, it'll be full of dust. Eh. But they can't help it though. It's like because mostly you just don't notice it, especially you're in a place like this. Like and it's in a dark room, so you have no idea that it's collecting as much dust as you think until you actually truly put it into the light and shine light on it. You're like, oh wow, it's actually dusty. So, Ramil says, I got my 9070 GRE for 500. Nice. I'm glad you got it. I'm glad you got that. So now I'm more than happy with what it does exactly what I needed to do. I think it's a good card. Absolutely. And I feel that AMD gets thrown under the bus a lot. The software has improved incredibly. And it seems like NVIDIA is more of the one that runs into the software issues now. I have to admit, like when it comes to NVIDIA's app. Um, but AMD has certainly improved a lot when it comes to Adrenaline. So if you need like a decent GPU, I highly recommend taking a look at them. So the monitor actually is good. The Sensui gets a Sensui, I should say. Sensui gets a 360 when I upgrade. Oh, nice. I don't think upgrading from my 7700 XT to 9070 XT justifies the current cost. RDN, yeah, something like that would definitely be the bigger jump. Especially because I have to ask you, have you taken advantage of the new FSR4 when it comes to your 7000 series? Because that has been recently updated. Have you noticed a large performance increase from it? So let me know because I heard some people say it has, some people says it hasn't been as much of a performance increase. So let me know what your thoughts are of FSR4 if you've gotten if you had a chance to take advantage of any FSR4 type of games. So, um, but yes, when it comes to GPUs, as I was saying, it's more expensive. Let me go to the browsing side here. We need to get 50, 90, 32 gigabytes to, he needs to, oh, you know, we got to do the whole, we're actually working on doing the whole Threadripper build. We're trying to, at least. What's up, Red Tech Ever? Great to see you. I saw the new Adrenaline update, but I was just playing Kingdom Hearts. Oh, okay, okay. I get it. Hey, have fun with it. As long as that's the most important key when you have your PC. Enjoy it the way you should. Don't let a lot of the news currently discourage you. I I mean even at times I get discouraged as I mentioned. Like it makes me question about TS, and I just hope that ends up being a really good showing this year. I hope it goes back to the core. I wanted to get back more to the consumer side of things. I updated from the 7700K to the 2080 to a 5800X. Oh, that's a large upgrade. How are you liking the upgrade, by the way? So the for if you look at the 5070s, they're pushing between around roughly about almost 700s to about $900 max. It can even go above it, but I don't know who would pay for even this RTX 5070 Aorus Infinity, which is their special edition one, is $930. Um, but let's go back here actually. Now, if you take a look here on the 9000 series cards, you can see that their pricing has also adjusted a bit. This is just the standard 9070 at 630. If you get the XC now, it's 730 and 740. And even the GRE. This is actually a decent deal. The ASRock RX 9070 for 480 is actually good because it's usually if you catch it on deal, it's about 500. But remember, a 9070 GRE just recently been adjusted. So if you are looking to get GPUs such as that, and you need a minimum of 12 gigabytes, that would be a good GPU to hop on, especially before a price jump. It's a huge difference, but I like this build a lot. I bet. I bet. And what type of display are you running? Just out of curiosity. Are you still running 1080 or are you running a 1440? Don't buy the night. No, I agree. 100% agree with you on that. It shouldn't. Those are. They should be banned from existence, right? Those are the cards that should be 100% banned from existence. So I got to be honest. Your bitrate is so good. My stream falls behind your live recording at one time, so I have to run it and put. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm glad it's improving because my concern, like with the stream, was that it wasn't able to keep up because I feel like my internet provider isn't as good. I'm glad to hear that the stream's running really well. So I was able to use my RAM, and I already had a 3000 megahertz Corsair LEDs and 32. Oh, nice, nice. 1440p. So you're really taking full advantage of it then. What are you able to? And what are some of the titles that you're currently playing? Excuse me. What are the current titles that you are playing now? And I bet you're getting the full frames like you want to. And that's the best part. Like when you get the experience, like the big upgrade. Wondering where the I'm guessing these 9050s are just been 9070s. Even 9060s, because you can't forget the 9060s. There are some of the bin the 9060s that they're trying to get rid of. Because when they took it apart, in fact, like if you like a lot of it, like all the cards when it comes to AMD, I have to say. And of course, this I'm not trying to um, bust on AMD here, but I do have to say when you open up a lot of the PCBs, a lot of them are pretty much similar to one other GPU. For example, the 9050 is similar to the 9060, as the 9060 is similar to the 9070. So they're all related in some sort of way. It's just one has more memory and one has a different, really GPU in there. But I believe it uses the Navi 48 when it comes to 9070 XT. And then when it comes to the 9050, it uses a similar GPU to the 9060, which is Navi 47, I believe. And then, but the RAM is, of course, is less, much less compared to it. And the bandwidth is much slower. You have a 96 bit rate compared to, not bit rate, 96-bit bus compared to something that's more of a 128-bit bus. So AC Black Flag, oh nice. How's Black Flag, by the way? I'm going to start up Cyberpunk 27. How are you liking Black Flag and how much frames are you pushing? Just out of curiosity. I was really curious, specifically on Black Flag, because I want to know the settings that you have. Um, how high are the settings you're running? If you're running any type of ray tracing, and also how high are your frames for your display? Just out of curiosity, because I wanted to get a good idea. I haven't got to test it myself just yet, so I just want to know the type of frames that you're pulling out of it, because I know someone with a similar build but he's running off a 6800 XT, and I'm curious to see if it's that much of a upgrade compared from a 6800 XT. So I hear about AMD dip stuttering issues still, or am I wrong about it? You're thinking of micro stutters. I'd say more of the issues that they do have, like when it comes to AMD, like I said, not every GPU is perfect. And AMD also does have its flaws. And AMD's flaws is like when it ends up crashing, when it has like the crash reports, which can happen with AMD cards. It depends on specific titles. It does happen, but it doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes it runs flawlessly. I feel like it depends on truly the AIB that they work with as part of the reason. Because I noticed that some cards, like the Sapphire cards, actually work really well, as some other cards doesn't work as well. Um, so I feel like it's more of a flaw that AMD has to figure out when it comes to their GPU. But I certainly hope that they do improve it when it comes to the 10,000 series. I think they can get a lot better. I want them to get a lot more competitive because we need to have competition when it comes to GPUs. Because if we don't have competition, then it's just doesn't make any sense. And then even Intel shined the spotlight a little bit when the 9050s ended up getting announced, because it made the B850s, not the B, I'm getting that all mixed up. The B580s, I'm sorry. The B580s seem not so bad because, again, it's 12 gigabytes of VRAM that you're getting compared to the 9050s. So the 9050s are more the 9060s, not the 9070s. Exactly, yeah. Because they have two of the different. That's what it is. Because I remember reading about this. Um, but I haven't gotten to take apart their GPUs yet. So the dips will always be there. AMD addressing it by saying that it's gonna be fixed next gen CPU. CPUs will fix that. It's not the GPU that causes, it's the CPUs. Some of my friends of mine's, they swapped the from AMD to Intel to 85K with no issues with it when in VR. Oh, nice, nice. Uh yeah, I noticed NVIDIA has a lot more L2 cache on their GPUs. Yeah, there's certain advantages that NVIDIA has. I mean, you're talking about a company that practically came up with the whole concept of like gaming GPUs, and they just improved on the product. But the problem is, when it came to NVIDIA, is that they became less and less caring when it came to the next generation. And I just certainly hope NVIDIA kind of gets back to how they used to be, like when they came to the focus of their GPUs. Until it's still king in my book. No, Amir definitely agrees with you on that, right? But I hope NVIDIA kind of goes back to um being itself again, being the true gaming company that it once was. Now it's just like everything is about AI, and it's kind of takes away the meaning from NVIDIA, the way they used to be. And I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, they already branched off NVIDIA gaming into a whole different section under the G4 section, but just imagine if they really push it away then. Black Flag on 1440p AMD FSR on set quality, everything on high ray tracing set to medium. Quality set to medium, I get about 90 to, that's really good actually. Nice. I'll definitely pass that on because that's actually really good. That's excellent. AMDs are great CPUs, but I love my 12700K though. It's still powerful. I agree. Elder Lakes is a awesome again line. Elder Lake was one of my more favorite lines when Intel came back. And I feel like they definitely deserve attention. I feel like they're starting to crack that finally. And I think Intel will certainly bring a lot, especially in the upcoming generation when it comes to Nova League. So let's hope to start changing things around at Gamers.com soon. I hope so. I hope so. I hope that they truly get back into, again, focus. Come back to the old video, like where it was about the gamers, because again, it's like what's gonna happen if this whole AI thing doesn't truly work out? I think it'll do great. Don't get me wrong, but will it still continue to produce as much as that they believe that it will, or will they, or investors will start to see the falls and once the actually get some of their money back? So um, I think I really truly think by like the end of this year, we'll start to see some sort of shift, whether if it's positive or negative, when it comes to the whole, when it comes to the whole company side of things. Whether if it's going to look positive for NVIDIA going fully AI. Same with a lot of other companies that are truly pushing it. So, and Battlefield 6, I got it completely maxed out and I'm getting 140. Incredible. Awesome. I figured Battlefield 6 work really well with it. We all need something in life that humbles us, and remember to be humbled. Um, that was really well said, I gotta say, Steve. And we all gotta agree with him. Sometimes we have to be humbled in life to really have a reminder from where we all came from. Because again, we're not all perfect, and hopefully NVIDIA goes through their retribution. So just post it on Battle Station, rate my Fitchy. Yes. Go onto Battle Station, guys. Make sure your rate is build. It's going to be on the Discord channel. Go to the Battle Station side, and you can feel free to. Nice, nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at Chartar's build. And feel free, chat, to let him vote what you feel. Give him a rating from 1 to 10. I'm going to share his build. Here we go. So that's his display there. And now we're going to go over to his PC. And that's just his side view there. And take a look at that. And oh, man, why is it not? I apologize, chat. I just showed just black. Okay, we'll start again. We're here from the display. Here's his PC. And then now let's go into the side. So rate his build from 1 to 10. Feel free to vote. I was at Walmart a little bit ago, and they went $759 for APN Y5070 non-TI. Oh, wow. You know, they actually had some really good deals on some. Oh, I know. I'm hyped. I'm hyped for that, Amir. I was actually seeing that. Oh, man. Don't. Hey, don't let Smitty see your keyboards. He'll definitely. He's the one that will certainly rate them. Nobody showing off non-LED builds. I'm sad. That is the world that we're in today, Nellis. I give the cable management a 4. What do you guys think? Let him know. Let him have it. So if I were to, oh man, yeah, I see that cable winding right here, like right by the fan. Is this this looks like a Montec case, is it? A white one. It almost looks like a Montec case. Chris, let me know when you are online next week so we can. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, there we go. Back to the brown side. It's the Asus A21. Oh, okay. It kind of looks like a Montec case. So what do you guys think? So if I were to rate the build, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Oh, I'm sorry. I had to drop the score a little bit. 6 out of 10. I'm just thinking about the wires hanging. If you get the wires, like if you manage to get those all hidden and fixed, I think it would be great. I think it would be end up looking great. This computer would be a great score if yes, exactly. I would definitely give it a higher score if that. So I agree with Steve here. If you manage to get the wires a bit more organized, it would definitely deserve a higher score than that. You know, and any Lennis should definitely show his build. Like back to the non-LED displays. Are front fans set to not spin at low temperatures? Um, it depends on how your PC's set. It should always spin. The front fans should honestly should spin at all the time practically. Um, because those are going to be your intake fans. I could see that your GPU fans don't spin all the time because a lot of them feature a 0 RPM technology, so they don't turn on unless they absolutely have to. Like for example, when you're gaming. So Ramil says I have the H7 Flow case. I got 10 of the Be Quiet Pure Wings 3, and I need to fix the cable management. It's pretty rough on my recommendations to fix the cable management to do. I got thermal rate. Yeah, that's a lot to clean up there. I spent so many hours on cable management, and I'll. Yes, it can be very time consuming, especially if you're really being meticulous. But I'll tell you what, it's worth it because the next time you open up your PC, you know exactly what you're getting into. So, hey, 7 is the lucky number also. Those wires from the AIO from uh, front on the intake, top fans on exhaust. So, oh yeah, the thermal grizzly wire view. I still, that reminds me, I still gotta try to reach out and try to get one of those. I meant the PCU we're rating. Yeah, um, again, like going back to like the whole GPU side, guys. Like if you guys are curious, the pricing has gone up a little bit. My AIO's thermal rate, and they're not well, they're not known for time. That's funny. Um, so if you're looking to get a GPU and you're trying to get something that's fair to like price and performance, I highly recommend the 9070 XT. Especially if you're looking for something that's like pretty much on the precipice of like a RTX 5070 Ti, or even at times could surpass it. So I would definitely suggest like a RX 9070 XT to people out there, especially for gaming purposes. If you are thinking of getting NVIDIA's RTX 5070 Ti or 5080, that's also a great choice too. But remember, you're going to be spending more money on it, and there has to be a reason why you're spending more money on it. If you are, it's going to have to be purposes, such as like if you need it for the CUDA cores, such as for when it comes to editing, multi-streaming. It has to have some sort of purpose for you to take advantage of. Otherwise, you're spending the extra money on practically nothing. Compared to like the RX 9070 XT, where it's very gamer oriented and focused, to where you actually spend on what the value truly is, especially for your usage. So they were spinning. What you saw was the spine of them. Ah, uh, Chris, you got the same keyboard as mine, the K100. Yes. Oh, nice, nice. You did it. How do you like it? I thought about getting that, by the way. Here goes a mirrors build right here, in fact. Oh, there we go. Ah, my fault, guys. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. And that monster right there. That's the RTX 5090 Founders Edition. I should have got it, man. I kind of regret not getting it now. Like back when I had the opportunity, I got the email, but I just didn't take it, and I should have got it though. I really like the look of it. But now they're not doing it anymore, guys. They're not doing the picks for NVIDIA cards, like the whole lottery system. If you try to get one of the cards, like to notify yourself if it becomes available that you can purchase it, you can't. Um, that's sick. That is sick. There you go. Isn't that crazy? Like the different size of boxes, like compared to what it was originally. I paid a lot for my keyboard. I got the SteelSeries Apex Pro. Nice. Smitty says the 9070 XT is just as good as the 5070 Ti if you're just gaming. Absolutely. You can save. Yeah, and you want that amazing OLED monitor? Just think of it. You can save enough money to get an OLED monitor at this point. You can get a decent OLED for about $400. So hope prices go down soon. Too bad nobody needs some NVIDIA. I know. Storage is going to be rough for a lot of people right now, especially if you're based on a 512 gigabyte. That's not easy. My 4070 Ti reminds me of the 3080 Ti. Played Silent Hill 2 remake with it last night. How'd it manage, by the way? NVIDIA is great. Use them for 20 plus years, but their 5070 Ti pricing makes no sense to me. I think that's what's the most frustrating aspect. It doesn't make sense to spend $1,200-$1,300 on a 5070 Ti, especially that especially if you're using it for gaming mostly. But it's also great for those who do want to stream and want to be able to do video editing. It's also a great option to use it for those senses. But um, it's a shame at the level that we've truly reached when it comes to the whole when it comes to hardware. Hardware just seems to constantly get more expensive, and we certainly do hope that it does get better. Take a look. We've been almost through this whole thing for almost a full year already. It'll be a full year once it hits November, but no, earlier. I'm sorry, October actually. It started. It'll be a full year then, but hopefully then it'll certainly improve. So I was so lucky when SSDs was cheap. I have two terabyte 9100 Pro gens and two 4 terabyte. Wow, that's crazy. Plenty of storage there. Very well. I enjoyed it. My 4070 Ti was so smooth, not much latency. So over a 50 game benchmark, 5070 Ti had a +3 FPS and 9070 XT at 1440p. And Ramil says, does AOC make good monitors? They're decent budget monitors. I feel like they're great budget monitors that you can get. I think that they're pretty decent. And you're looking at the AOC Aegon Pro 27-inch. Let's go ahead and look at it. Let's see, Aegon Pro 27, and it's the OLED version, right? So it's this specific monitor there. They've been around for a little while, and I feel like that they're pretty decent budget monitors to get. Now, if you want to get a starter monitor, these are great to get. But yeah, I think it more than likely will be pretty decent, a decent display to get. But to be honest, I can say Gigabyte actually, if you spend like $50 more, Gigabyte actually has their monitor on sale. Like $50 more, and you get even a better display actually. I could actually show it to you. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it real quick actually, because I had it up here. It's the same size, and it's also 1440. So imagine if you had 9070 XT and a G7. Absolutely. That would be wonderful if it did. Would not be much faster. It's not really about the one. I overclock my 9060 on my memory. I do not gain a lot of FPS. It's more so it would help though. I can say it would certainly help it though. I get the idea like overclocking might not work as much, but I'm saying if you have a much faster bandwidth, it would definitely help. Gen 5 NVMe is overrated. Let me go ahead and find this display for you real quick so I can share it with you. Let me see. Right here. I'll share it with you guys. For anyone that is interested in getting it. Right there. That's it. For anyone that is interested in getting that display, and I'll actually go into it so you guys can see it. So here it is. Oh, it actually went down even lower, 300 bucks. That's even a better deal. Yeah, that's actually even a better deal. This is actually a great display for 300 bucks. Wow. It was actually 400 not that long ago. Now it's even cheaper, guys. So if you're looking for a really good display, this is one to get. And the clarity is just amazing. It's also a it's not matte either. It's also a glossy display. So if you're looking for a glossy OLED display, this is one to go for. So they got the 240 hertz version, and of course, if you go for the 4K version, it will push up dramatically because there's going to be a size difference. But yeah, this one is definitely worth it. Absolutely, right, Smitty? That's amazing. That price. Yeah, so if you're looking for what does it? Yes, it does. All monitors that are over, it's like the standard now, pretty much. Like all monitors practically have to have like FreeSync and G-Sync, and this is all because VESA pretty much said that all monitors that have a certain type of speed, a certain type of refresh rate, I believe if it was over 100 and I think it was 144 hertz, that it's like the most basic thing that they have to have AMD FreeSync and NVIDIA's G-Sync. That's why you don't see it advertised as much as it used to be. Before it, that's what they would usually advertise on there in order for people to purchase it. But yeah, that's crazy. I paid $528 last year for an equivalent monitor. The one, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they're dropping quick like rocks. It's amazing. Um, and definitely worth the value if anyone wants a display, especially for Gigabyte 27-inch OLED monitor. I had to post it. Once again, make sure you check out the link if you want to check it out. I paid $160 for my 1440p 240 hertz monitor. That's pretty good. That's really good actually. Um, but I would imagine it is based on a was it OLED? There's no way it's OLED for 160. I'm sure it was I just bought two of the Samsung G60s monitors at $300 crazy steal OLED. Wow, that's actually really good. Yeah, so at the time at least displays are getting cheaper. That's some good news there. Thought it was probably an LCD panel. Okay. We can even compare it on Amazon here. I'm curious to see if it would pop up on there. Let me see. And I'll go into Amazon and see if they also have it, especially for those who are outside of Newegg's reach here. So it's $374, so it's $74 more expensive if you choose to get it onto Amazon, but they do have it available. If you guys want the link for this very specific monitor here, it is right there. Ground game. Take a look at that. $375. And still a great deal though. So they have the option again, OLED, 240 hertz. Actually, a really good deal for anyone that is looking for a OLED monitor that is under 400 bucks. Insane. I feel like it was just like yesterday when these OLED monitors like truly got like pushed out, and now the availability is so much more cheaper. MSI did have a nice 280 hertz OLED monitor. Nice. I can believe it. MSI has great monitors too. Asus also has great monitors. Um, Asus actually has had theirs on sale like earlier in the year. They had the 4K one up for 600, the PG32, I think. Charizard says the black version of my monitor is $450 on Amazon right now. Gigabyte, yeah, I know they are absolutely killing it. If you see this display, it's amazing too. Like I saw it in person, and I'll tell you what, it looks like It's a display that should be worth a lot more money than it is, like what they're selling it for now. The clarity is just amazing. Uh, Steve says 95% of the time I use my LG C2 65-inch OLED 120 hertz. Nice, nice. Red Tech Everett says not a bad price. I paid 180 for 1440p from Lumia Black. Oh, nice. I have the MSI Mag monitor. That price bump isn't worth the 40 hertz. Yeah, I was hoping to hear more positive. uh, but yeah, that's honestly a great deal. Like, let me see. Let's see what else they got, because I know there's the one display I really want to get, guys. It's like I'm controlling my urges here. Is the LG 5K display. If you guys got to see this. Oh, no, not this one. The Ultra Fine. And this went down to about 1500. This one's a nice display, but so expensive though. Finally, a true 5K display. Alienware also has their version of it too, I believe. My 1440p monitor is 1444 hertz if I use HDMI, but I don't use DisplayPort. Yeah, but the thing is, I just wonder. They have a couple different variant sizes to this. This is the 45 inch. They also have a 30, I think it's 39 inches for the other one. Here it is. They have, okay, so they have the GX9, which is the 39-inch Ultra Gear, which is 1800. And then they have the larger one, which is 45 inches, which is insanely, you can imagine how insane that would be. Got my man's post lagging with display port gives me 240 hertz. Oh yeah, yeah. If you could go DisplayPort, that would definitely be the better way to go. Go DisplayPort instead of HDMI. HDMI is great too. It's definitely improved over the time, but DisplayPort is always the way to go, especially if you had the choice between the two. But yeah, I was really curious about this more than anything. But I think I kind of want to wait still a little bit because of I'm trying to look for the RGB. Okay, this is a tandem OLED. Is the RGB stripe. Also, I've been told it's out of fashion to pair Oh, really? That's so funny. I could see that though. Alienware, I gotta say they have decent displays too. Alienware 5K 2K. Let's see. I don't think it's out yet, is it? I think it might be. It's this one. They have it on Reddit. It's so weird they don't have it posted that like the way they should. Let me go in the images here. Yeah, it looks like this. Here it is on Dell. I'm assuming it's not really out, but I would definitely not use that stand. That stand is that stand is ugly. I think you need DisplayPort to get past 144 hertz. I can't remember it though. It's been so long. If it works, it's not out of fashion. There, the keyboard god will definitely speak. I showed a coworker an Alienware monitor, and he's like, "Nah, dog, can't pair with that scrap you call a PC." Oh man. So FanBim guys, I thank everybody for coming into the wonderful chat. I gotta thank Chartard, thank Smitty for coming in. That I thank Ground Game for coming in. Even though he just popped in even a bit red tech cover. I gotta thank Amir as always, Ramil, and I also gotta thank uh our wonderful let me see. His name's just slipping my mind now. Ernesto Chevs. And I gotta thank KPS Lucas as well. And Ellis, I'm glad this is a great way to start the day. Today is a royal clutch. Nice. No problem. Thank you, Steven, as always, for coming in. I do appreciate you. Yes. Thank you, FanBam family. Thank you all. Hopefully you guys got a lot of games in. Oh, I gotta thank Jenimore for coming in as well when he did. Um, Thank you everybody, and have a wonderful day. And I will definitely update you guys as soon as uh, we go up live and streaming. Hopefully, I get a lot of these extra projects done. But thank you guys for coming in as always, and enjoy your wonderful weekend.